Hello, welcome to our movie review channel. I am Rob.
And I'm Dave.
And today we're going to be reviewing the comedy Meet the Millers.
Smidge of marijuana down in Mexico. Bring it back here by Sunday night. I will pay you $100,000.
He's way out of my league.
You don't have a choice.
You like to make 10 grand.
Drug dealing?
It's not drug dealing. It's smuggling. Me crossing the border alone? Huge red flag. But families, hi, they don't get a second look. So I need you to be my wife. Come on. Look, I hired this dork that lives in my building and a little gutter punk. Kenny, meet your new sister.
I've always wanted a sister.
Get it off of me.
We just have to dress up like a squeaky clean all-American family.
It pretty much is a street drug dealer who sells marijuana, is called by a friend to go down to Mexico to get a huge stack of weed, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to pull this off. So he decides to get his stripper neighbor, his nerdy virgin neighbor, and this runaway girl to pose as his family so that there's not a lot of suspicion on them. It came out a few weeks ago, and so far it's been doing pretty well at the box office. It's probably one of the very few comedies that's playing at the moment. And now we have finally got a chance to see it. And Dave, what did you think?
It's funny. I mean, I just got done seeing it a little bit ago. It's pretty funny. I like people they casted in this were great. Jennifer Aniston, she's kind of, I think she's a little old to be playing these roles now, but judging on like some of the stuff she's been in, this is a little bit better, I'd say. She did a good job. I mean, she's still young enough that she pulls it off and everything. So.
Yeah, because I mean, she's been doing she often gets casted in romantic comedies. I know some of them have not been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I agree with you about the performances. I thought the movie itself was okay. Yeah. I didn't think it was that great. I mean, I was amused by it. I was amused by the story. I just didn't think it was all that funny. But I think what really helped, like you said, was the performances. The actors, I think they all did a very good job. And another thing I liked was I cared about the characters. Yeah. I know that they're not very respected by society standards. I mean, you got a marijuana drug dealer and a stripper and all that, but I mean, I cared about the characters. I cared about what they're going through. I like how they kind of bonded over time. The only performance I really didn't care for was Ed Helms as the guy that hires the drug dealer, played by Jason Sudeikis. I found him to be a little bit too cartoonish. I mean, if you look at Hangover, when he's over the top and calm or what have you, he's fine. But here, I thought he just wasn't quite right for the part. He didn't really work for me.
Yeah, he was kind of here and there. It's like he'd get excited and then he'd try and be mean, and it don't work for him like that. And then it was just like overkill with like his jokes.
What the hell's that? I bought an orca. I make a lot of money.
It was amusing. I laughed a couple of times, and what I also kind of found interesting was, most of these comedies have very over-the-top, gross-out gags. The so-called gross-out gags here are not really over the top. They're a little bit more subtle, if there's any. The only, like, for example, take the gag where the kid, the nerdy kid, gets bit by a spider. That, if it was given to a different director or perhaps a different performer, that could have gone really over the top, and it could have been really milked out for gross gags. Yeah. They do it just right where you're just fine with it. So I was really, I thought it was very refreshing to see that they did more subtle gags. I mean, there's a few moments where that might make the audience uncomfortable, but I mean, I thought it was different from some of the other comedies that have been of the more gross out.
You're probably gonna get searched at the border. You could wear a disguise.
Bane, Batman, something like that. There's no drugs in here. You have nothing to worry about.
All right. I think for me, it's more of a rental. Like I said, I think it was. I like the characters, I like the performances, I like the idea of the story, but I think after a while it just got, the movie's a little over 90 minutes. I think it was a little bit too long. There's some stuff here and there that I think we could have done without. Like, I think once they, halfway through the point, without giving anything away, once the story changes, I think it's like, okay, where do we go from here? And I think sometimes it feels like they're struggling to add stuff to the script, but it's a decent rental. It was amusing. I got a few hard laughs. I got a few chuckles, but it was just okay for me.
Yeah, it's better than most quirky comedies. I'll give it that. But yeah, I agree with you. It's seeing it in theaters is like not really necessary. There's nothing like outstanding about it that makes it look better on the big screen. So yeah, I'd also say give it a rental.
Okay. All right, well, that's our take on We're the Millers. Feel free to leave your comments about the movie if you have seen it, or any comments about the channel, and thank you very much for watching.